The British have their traditional gentlemen's clubs, which took over some parts of the role played by coffee houses in London. In our part of the world, we have the Majlis. Hello, my name is Rana Nejem and I'm author of When in the Arab World, an insider's guide to living and working with Arab culture. Almajlis is an Arabic term meaning a place of sitting. It can refer to a council to describe a group or a special gathering for a common purpose, be it social, administrative, or religious. It also refers to the legislature and is part of the name given to the council or the assembly or parliament. So, for example, Majlis al-Nuwab is the House of Representatives. In a social setting, the Majlis is a private place, similar to a large sitting room where guests are received, entertained and served freshly brewed Arabic coffee and tea. The floors are covered with Persian carpets and guests sit on cushions placed against the walls either directly on the floor or on a raised shelf. Today, this social tradition of the Majlis continues, particularly in the Gulf countries, where wealthy families build a separate hall that is secluded from other parts of the house to serve as a Majlis, or Diwaniyya, as it's known in Kuwait, or Diwan, as it's known in the Levant. The Majlis is the place where men gather to discuss business and politics and sometimes poetry and literature. It's a place where decisions are cooked, deals are struck, and opinions exchanged. It's also a place where the guys just hang out in the evenings, drinking tea, smoking the ergile, or playing cards or backgammon. Some are open to the public, but most are by invitation only. Similar to political salons or a social club, Al-Majlis has remained exclusively for men. However, very recently, women were allowed to attend some of the business or political diwaniyas in Kuwait and in Doha. And more recently, a number of women have been given permits to open a Majlis for women. A few years back, during one of my trips to the UAE, I met the US ambassador who was there at the time and who happened to be a woman. I asked her how she managed to do her work in a country where a lot was discussed in the male-exclusive Majlis. She told me that she was frequently invited to participate and, of course, often found that she was the only female present. She said she felt quite comfortable because her hosts dealt with her almost as gender neutral with a lot of respect. She said that even when she had to make formal calls for condolences, an affair that is segregated in most Arab countries, she would go to where the men were and pay her respects there, then go to the women's place and sit there for a few minutes before leaving. The only event in the UAE where she had to be with the women only was during wedding parties. If you want to know more, pick up a copy of the book and check out all the other videos in the series, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Salam.